Well, we'll start with this. Gauteng Human Settlements MEC Lebogang Maile is appealing to people to stop occupying land illegally to build shacks. Now, he says the City of Johannesburg has demolished about 80 shacks in Ward 109 in Alexandra. Residents are outraged, demanding proper housing. Maile joins us for this conversation now. MEC, thank you so much for joining us this evening on Newsnight.
Thank you.
One may say that this issue around illegal shacks that have been uplifted and put up and then you have to be demolished, etc. It's not a new phenomenon, especially when it comes to those individuals that live in shacks. But why do you think that the community is outraged at this stage?
Well, firstly, there is a EFF-led and sponsored anarchy
Okay.
and illegal occupation of land, which we are not going to allow. And that's why during the elections campaign as the ANC, we said we are going to speed up what we call the rapid land release program that we have as the Gauteng provincial government, because we know there is a land hunger, and we know that there's a problem of housing in Gauteng, because every year we attract about 230,000 people coming into our province, and when they descend into the province, they want houses, they want access to education system, access to health and many other services. So we're not going to use that as an excuse, and that's why we will be planning better, but at the same time we will move with speed to ensure that we allocate the land that we have at our disposal, and we also install services in those pieces of land, so that people can be able to build themselves their houses.
MEC, I want us to listen to a conversation that was held with the very same anarchist, the EFF that you're talking about, one such man, Disa Mashego, who was really speaking about her sentiments towards you. So I want us to listen to it, and then we'll come back and have a conversation about some of those allegations that she's making.
But I want to address this thing of this thug, Lebogang Maile. He's a thug and he's a liar. After looting the money of the Alexandra Renewal Project here since 1998 with his thug boss Paul Mashatile and his brother Mike Maile, he's lying. There's no court order here. There's never been a court order. The provincial secretary was here before I arrived. The community was here the whole time. They came here, they started demolishing houses. There's no City of Johannesburg that has a court order. There's no such a thing. We engaged the JMPD. The provincial secretary engaged the JMPD. We spoke to Chief Tembe. He didn't even know what was happening. He was called here sneakily by the SAPS, because the SAPS are nothing but a bunch of hired thugs. They are worse than the apartheid police, because I've never seen people like this who are so heartless.
Now, I'm not going to go into the issue of name calling, because I think that's besides the point, but I'm going to tackle the issue around the court order that has been allegedly attained or not attained by the City of Johannesburg to allow this demolishing. So the first question is, do you have a court order that allows you to demolish those shacks, especially those that were demolished today?
I think firstly, I need to put it on record, because I think what Mandisa, is typical, reckless, unstable, and she thrives on insulting people. So I will not stoop to her level. But she can make serious allegations about monies being stolen in the Alexandra Renewal Project, implicating me and my brother. So I'm going to insist that she must withdraw, and by Monday my lawyers will serve her and the EFF with a letter demanding a retraction. And
okay, so are you demanding that retraction?
Yes.
On the premise that you are denying that money was ever stolen for this renewal project?
Well, I don't know about monies that were
she's alleging. So she's alleging that, I don't want to go into the name calling, as you know, MEC, is besides the point. But she's alleging that you stole money. And yes, she's bringing your brother into that very same conversation. So, and she's also bringing the former Premier, Paul Mashatile, into this conversation. My question then to you is, are you denying that any money was stolen on your behalf, on your brother's behalf, for this renewal project?
Well, my brother is on record saying, and in fact he has actually written, his lawyers have written to Julius, because she's sustaining what Julius said during the elections campaign, which is reckless. It was electioneering and typical of EFF. They just say things without any basis, without any proof. You have seen just the day before yesterday, former Minister Trevor Manuel won a case against them, and this is another case that I'm going to win, and I'm certainly going to take that money and donate it to the poor people of Alexandra, because I have not stolen any money, and I will never steal any money.
Okay, so you say you've never stolen any money, you'll never steal any money. Where are these people going to go then, MEC? I mean, today you've demolished their shacks, their livelihoods are probably are standing around. Where they're going to be housed, especially for this moment?
Well, firstly, the Gauteng provincial government, because today I was with my senior management team, and I asked them if we have demolished or instructed the demolition of any structures. They have told me under no uncertain terms that we have not demolished as a Gauteng provincial government. That is the decision that was taken by the City of Johannesburg, which is led by the EFF and the DA. The ANC-led government in Gauteng has not demolished any structures in Alex. And if I was to find out that there's an official in the Department of Human Settlement who has instructed the demolition of those structures, we will definitely act against that official.
So I can tell you as the political head, you're saying that the people that should be angry at the helm here is the City of Johannesburg.
Exactly.
Let's not play politics. I don't want us to play politics where we say this is a DA or whoever's. I'm saying
no, we're not playing politics. The City of Johannesburg is run by the DA and the EFF. So we must say things the way they are. So we're not playing any politics. But in the same vein, we issued a statement today as the Gauteng provincial government urging our people not to occupy land illegally and not to listen to reckless statements that are not well thought of by the EFF, and wait for us, work with us in making sure that they acquire land and houses.
Okay.
And we know as well that there are houses that are not allocated. We are going to allocate those houses. They have not been allocated for different reasons. Others are not ready to be occupied. There are houses that have not been finished. We are going to finish those houses and make sure that we give our people those houses.
Okay, let's speak as a leader now. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a one-on-one with you and I. You're telling me that as the MEC of Human Settlements, there's something that is happening. You are in charge of this. There's something that is happening in your house, right? Your house, whether it's in Alexandra, whether it is under the City of Johannesburg, which is under the Democratic Alliance, ultimately, from a provincial perspective, in the Gauteng province, this is all happening in your house. You're telling me here that if this is happening in your house, so long as it's the DA that's doing it, you're going to prevent. My question then to you, as a leader, do you not go and say, guys, pick up the phone, guys, what is happening? Why is it that we've got a bunch of people, including the EFF, by the way, who are calling me thugs on national television, who are saying that, we must occupy land, who are saying that we're demolishing houses? What is going on? And secondly, I'm going to show up for the sake of those people as a leader in the province, because if something is happening in your house and you're blaming the DA, that says something about your leadership. I'm asking you, when do we take accountability and when do we say it's the Democratic Alliance? I'm not even focusing on the DA. I'm saying as a leader, this is happening in your house. How are we going to fix it?
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just stating facts that the Gauteng Department of Human Settlement has not demolished houses in Alexandra. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm stating a fact that the DA-led municipality has demolished those houses today in Alexandra. It's a fact, unless they can prove otherwise. That's the first thing. The second thing, I have already dispatched a team of officials from the Department of Human Settlement to go and assess, but to also work with the City of Johannesburg to find alternative accommodation for those people. So it's not like we're sitting and not doing anything. We are doing something, and we are also concerned about the well-being of those families, and we will work with that City of Johannesburg to ensure that those people get alternative accommodation.
MEC, now in your original statement, you had said that actually a court order was obtained by the City of Johannesburg for the demolishing of the houses. Now you're saying now, as the Gauteng government, right, as the Gauteng provincial government, we have not instructed the demolishing. So now are you retracting the very same? Because you're saying you're working hand in hand with the City of Johannesburg, and you were also speaking about this court order that was attained by the City of Johannesburg. That very same statement that you made now, are you retracting that statement?
No.
What are you saying?
I don't think, I'm not sure what are you arguing.
What I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to understand where does the provincial government come in and say we're going to take accountability for our house, and when does it leave it and say DA or City of Johannesburg, you messed up here, you need to clean it up?
Yes, they have messed up. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that they obtained a court order apparently 2 months back. That's what I was told. I'm a day in office, and when this thing came up, I was obviously concerned. I asked questions, and the answers I received from the officials of the Department of Human Settlement is that the Department of Human Settlement in Gauteng has not obtained any court order, has not instructed anybody to demolish any structures. And that's why I said just now, if there's anybody in the Department of Human Settlement who acted without any authorization from myself or from the head of department, that official will face the consequences. So and the fact that we are not responsible for demolition, it doesn't mean that we must look away and say it's not our problem. Hence, we have said, let's work with this municipality to make sure that in the immediate we secure accommodation for those.
But you're acknowledging that they messed up?
They did, like they always do. And I don't want to politically, I mean, they're messing up the city. They're not running it properly. We are there to help them and to work with them in the interest of the citizens. So this is not about politics. We have just won an elections. We are running a province. We've got a duty to ensure that we serve our people.
MEC, we're going to leave our conversation there. Thanks a lot for joining us in studio. That was the Gauteng MEC of Human Settlements, Lebogang Maile.